Had a word at the beginning of term, didn't we? Do sit down. Sorry I couldn't get to see you sooner, but we have a 5-form entry and that takes some sorting.
Yes, our youngest has just started.
Yes, I hope she's settling in all right.
Better now, Jeff. He was second first day.
Yes, Jeffrey.
Look, what's been going wrong? Why isn't Jeff happy here?
I was rather hoping you could tell me that. He's had problems from the start, hasn't he?
He's a lad, isn't he? He doesn't much care for sitting still.
I'm afraid there's a lot of things he doesn't much care for. Paying attention in class, doing his homework.
Well, we've been keeping an eye on that. Making sure that he puts the time in. We've been reading up about school refusal.
I wouldn't say it was as bad as that.
Look, I know he's at a difficult age.
They all are at this place.
Are you saying he's worse than the rest?
I'm not necessarily saying that at all. More like a bad patch.
Yeah, but there must be a problem. He's getting rotten marks. He's sagging off school.
When I talked to him, he told me that you were on his back. It's possible to put too much pressure on a child, you know. Some children are academic, others aren't.
Like us, you mean? I'm the one who isn't. I couldn't wait to get out of school. Chrissy's the one with A-levels in our house. She could have been sitting where you are now.
I started off training to be a teacher.
I see.
What do you see?
Boys of Jeffrey's age are trying to find their own way in the world. Flexing their psychological muscles, you might say. The more you want him to do well, the more he'll resist. He needs to be able to find his own motivation. You can't do that for him.
Look, I know there's a problem. He's very bright. You can tell that just the way he talks to you.
But just not interested, that's it, isn't it?
That's about it, yeah.
And you'll never make him interested. He has to do that for himself. I'll bring a concern to the attention of his subject teachers, and I assure you they'll do their very best to try and find ways to involve him. So, do try to stop worrying about Jeffrey at any rate. However, it wouldn't be a bad idea to have a word about Samantha.
I meant to give it in, I really did.
Meant to isn't good enough, is it?
I don't know, I forgot. I was worried about Tomo.
Don't try giving me excuses, lad. You do realise that holding on to something like this constitutes theft, don't you?
Yeah.
The reason Mrs. Miller gave you this is because she trusted you. Otherwise, she might as well have given it to any old passerby, as she didn't hesitate to say.
I know, I'm sorry.
It's a good job I know you. Otherwise, I might have thought you were going to pocket the contents of this purse and deny all knowledge of it. Do you know how much there is in it?
No.
Well, that's a point in your favour, isn't it? Helps me to believe your story.
It's true. I want to be a good cop, eh?
Oh, you do you?
You know I do.
Sometimes I doubt it.
Anything else you'd like to say before you go?
What sort of things?
Anything at all. After all, a lot more than half of a child's life is spent at home.
Well, we have been a bit unsettled up to now. Living in rented accommodation.
Ah, so you don't own your own home.
We will do soon.
We're putting in an offer, hoping to buy it off the landlord. I'm sure it'll help Jeff if he knows we're staying put.
It should help them all, I'd say. Samantha's got a mind of her own, hasn't she?
What's wrong with her?
Can't make life easy. Do the children quarrel a lot?
No more than normal.
What do you mean? Samantha's got a mind of her own?
I'm her biology teacher as well as being third-year pastoral head. It's a good job she doesn't want to be a biologist.
Why not?
She objects to the use of animals for study purposes. She refused to do the dissection of the rat.
Well, she is a vegetarian.
They shouldn't make people do things they don't want to do.
Mr. Rogers, have you ever tried to run a school with 1,000 pupils in it and let all of them have their own way?
Hey, pal, have you ever tried to drive a wagon to Yugoslavia in 2 days?
This isn't a competition about who has the hardest job. I am trying to help Samantha. Couldn't you have a word with her? Ask her to modify her views, or at least keep them a little quieter?
I will have a word with her, yes.
Well, I won't. As far as I'm concerned, she's entitled to think what she likes.
This won't do you much good when it comes to promotion if it goes down on your record, you know.
Well, does it have to?
Oh. You're asking me not to have seen something I have seen.
Well, suppose I am.
This is the sort of thing you think goes on in the police, is it? Well, I don't know. Maybe. 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 Maybe.
No, I didn't mean...
Oh, you didn't? I think you know very well. I think there are things you've seen you're pretending you haven't. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? Incidents associated with Operation Hickory. That's what I'm talking about. And a bloke that's not as fit as he used to be, who says things happen to him nobody seems to remember. Now do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought you might be able to remember something now, even if you'd forgotten it before. After all, we've just had proof your memory's not infallible, haven't we? What did you see that night, Corkhill?
I can't remember seeing anything.
Well, I suppose you have to stick by your mates, haven't you? You know, until this happened, you were making out quite well. I had high hopes for you. So, on this occasion, I'll pretend I haven't noticed you've made a mistake.
Thanks.
But this doesn't mean you can get away with anything again. One mistake might be bad luck, two begins to look like carelessness.
I'll be careful.
Forgetting to hand in this purse isn't the only sort of mistake you could make, you know. There's worse than this. I wouldn't like to see a promising lad like you mess things up by taking the wrong advice, mixing with the wrong people. Coppers are people, Rod. There are good ones and bad ones. You know that, don't you?
Everybody knows that.
I wouldn't be too sure about that. I used to think you had it in you to be a good copper. Now I'm not sure. I'll let you off on this occasion, but I shall be keeping a close eye on you in future.
All right.
What a horrible day at work.
Listen, I've been talking to you now, fella.
So?
We've had a boss idea, window cleaning.
Oh, yeah, where?
I'm just sounding about. I've already been down close, but there's no one in, so I think they're getting some leaflets done.
Well, I'll believe that when I see it.
What's up with you?
Just told you, haven't I? Work?
Oh, what's up? You dropped the shampoo on the floor.
No. It's Jared.
What about him?
Who's been eating this?
Mate, it was sound.
All of it?
No, your alpha had a little bit. Don't know what I got left over. Had it been here, it wouldn't have.
Oh, you!
Right, well, if you won't talk to her, then I will.
Chris, the kids will be all right, love, if you just leave them alone.
You might not think education is important, Frank, but I do.
Chris, I never passed any exams, and it didn't do me any harm, love. So, who's saying Sammy won't pass her exams anyway? And what's wrong with having a few principles?
Oh, I don't mind her having a few principles, so long as she keeps them out of school.
Listen, Chris, you're the one who's always saying people should speak up for themselves.
I just don't want her rocking the boat, that's all. I don't want them thinking that we're a family of troublemakers.
Why not?
Because they blame the parents for one thing. I don't know, there's a lad who can keep his nose clean. Why can't ours be more like him?
See, somebody's tidied up in here.
And somebody's done the washing up.
Thanks. Would be Jeff. We're trying to get into our good books in case we come back with bad news. So he's keeping out of the way.
Suppose we better tell him how we got on. Shall I call him or will you?
What are we going to tell him? The teacher thinks you're a scally like your dad.
I never said that.
Oh, as good as. Anyway, I think the one we should be talking to is Sammy.
And what are we going to tell her? That toffee-nosed twit that calls himself a teacher thinks she should keep her mouth shut.
We are not going to tell her anything. We're going to listen to what she has to say. And you are not going to call Mr. Jenkins a toffee-nosed twit.
Who's going to stop me?
Look, Sammy is at an age to be rebellious without our help. We've got to support the school on this one, whether we like it or not. So are you going to call her or shall I?
He's eating that trifle.
Eating a trifle, eh? Shouldn't have done that.
Oh, that's right. Take his side.
I'm not taking anyone's side.
Yes, you are. You always do, you men. You're all the same.
Oh, I don't know about that. Taller than him for a start.
Yeah, but you're not as good as eating trifle as I am.
Now just remember, leave this to me, eh?
I was just doing geography.
Your mum wants a word.
What about?
About you and school.
Me? I thought it was our Jeff you wanted to see about.
So did I.
It was Mr. Jenkins we saw.
Oh,
Never mind, him. He's very concerned about you. Now, what's all this about you not doing the dissecting in biology, eh?
Do you know what they do? They breed animals especially so that people can cut them up. That's not right, is it?
But it's so you can learn from them, Sammy.
We can do that without cutting things up, though. Thousands of people have dissected rats anyway. Everyone knows what's inside them. There's drawings in all the books.
A drawing's not the same though, love, is it?
It's best than cutting things up, though. They do it to all sorts. Fishes, frogs, worms.
I don't think we need to worry too much about the worms, Sam.
We should worry about everything. They're all living creatures, aren't they?
If we worried too much, love, we wouldn't eat anything.
But there's no need for anyone to eat meat anyway. Do you realise there wouldn't be a shortage of food anyway if we didn't feed so much of the world's grain to cattle?
Oh, look, that isn't the point, Sammy.
But I'm sure more people would object to this kind of thing if they knew the facts. Well, that's the point of the demo the week after next. Well, you did say I could go, remember?
I know we did, love.
And I'll only be away for the one night.
Oh, there's no need for you to stay. Your dad will come and pick you up.
Well, I want to. Well, I want to come back on the coach with all the others. My dad wouldn't want to drive all the way to London.
You've got to stop this, you know. You can't go shooting off upstairs every time someone says something you don't like. You don't want to start living in your bedroom, do you?
I wouldn't mind.
Oh, behave, Tracy. I've had a hard day at work. I don't want to come home and have to sort you out as well.
You've had a hard day.
Look, you've got to get on with it. Put up with things.
Oh, what would you know about that?
Oh, look, don't think it's always been easy for me, you know. How do you think I felt when I was out of work, eh? When you nearly lost this house, and then your mum going and that.
I wish my mum would come back.
Yeah, well, look, what's done is done. There's no use going backwards.
Why did she have to go anyway?
We've got to make the best of what we've got. I do, Rod does, Sheila does.
Yeah, and who has here to come?
Who?
Sheila.
Oh, come on, Tracy. You can't begrudge her a roof, can you? You should have seen the dump she was living in. I couldn't leave her there.
I miss Kathy.
Is that the trouble then, Sheila being here, is it?
Not really.
But you've got to snap out of it, you know. You've got to learn to live together no matter who you live with. Just cheer up and come downstairs, for God's sake.
Dad?
What?
Oh, nothing.
Look, just keep smiling. That's what I do.
I know.
I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to make the tea. You put a bit of makeup on, put a smile on your face. It'll be better then, won't you?
Yeah.
I told you this animal lib business would lead to trouble.
What trouble? You said I could go on this demo.
We didn't know it was in London.
I'll need a note from this girl's auntie.
That's all right. You can have one.
There are some grown-ups going, aren't there?
I'm grown up, aren't I?
I don't call 15 grown up.
Oh, it's properly organised. Oh, you said I could go.
Read this. It's a note from Ralph.
What's he sending us notes for?
I can go, can't I?
Oh, he's probably too scared to face us. Said Harry's wrong him from his sons.
Asked me to tell you he does not accept your offer for the house. Well, he can't do this, can he?
Oh, he can do a lot worse.
Dad?
All right, love.
It's a notice to quit.
He wants us out within a month.
In Jimmy's Next, a shocking diagnosis for a man of 20 who even so has a fighting chance for a full recovery.